Jalen Ramsey is on the trade block. To me, he still is a top 15, top 18 corner. He's no longer a elite corner, but there's a handful of teams that could use his services, and we're going to take a few minutes to break down some possible landing spots that we could see the Dolphins trade Jalen Ramsey to. Starting off with the Baltimore Ravens, they currently are in the market for Jaire Alexander, and if they don't come away with him, then Jalen Ramsey probably will be their next best option. Yes, he does have a pretty hefty price tag, but the Dolphins more than likely will have to eat a little bit of that contract for anybody to want to trade for him, unless they want to take a dead cap hit and release him, which is going to be really huge. They can't afford to do that. The Ravens already have Nate Wiggins, who had a really outstanding rookie season. Marlon Humphrey had an all-pro year, playing majorly in the slot. And then, who's your second corner on the boundary? Is it going to be Chidobe Awuzie? You probably want Jalen Ramsey. And the Ravens, being a team that right now is in win-now mode, they're trying to go all in on winning the Super Bowl. You want to maximize Lamar Jackson's prime. Getting Jalen Ramsey is the kind of move that you make when you're just desperate to get over the hump. The Green Bay Packers, with them cutting Jaire Alexander, they have a major hole at the cornerback position, and Jalen Ramsey immediately will be their number one corner. And although he's not top 5 or top 10 anymore, you still getting top 15, top 18 level quarterback play from Jalen Ramsey is good enough to somewhat fill the hole that Jaire gives you getting rid of him. And yeah, the Packers have gone a lot of games without Jaire, but the cornerbacks they had last year played really well. But Jalen Ramsey still is good enough to be an upgrade over those guys that you currently have in your cornerback room. The Minnesota Vikings are a really interesting team because right now, their cornerback situation isn't really that good. They got Isaiah Rodgers, the dude who missed all of last season for gambling. And then you have Mekhi Blackman, who showed a lot of promise at USC, but he still hasn't really proven that much at this level. So you get Jalen Ramsey. He'll be like a one-year stopgap for you until you can load up on corner in the draft next year. Jalen will be a perfect fit in Brian Flores' scheme. He still is a really good physical press man-to-man corner. Brian Flores likes to blitz a lot. He likes his corners to get up in your face. And Jalen Ramsey will be a perfect fit for that style of defense that the Vikings like to run. The Las Vegas Raiders, you talk about a team that really needs some cornerback help right now. The Raiders, man, they need Jalen Ramsey. And Jalen Ramsey, when he wanted out of Jacksonville a few years ago, he wanted to be a Raider. But unfortunately, they didn't make it happen. And now he's available. And Pete Carroll, he likes guys to have the kind of personality that Jalen Ramsey has. So Jalen will mesh well with him. And then right now you got Jacorian Bennett and Eric Stokes, who wasn't that good last year on what was a top 10 defense that the Packers had. So you get Jalen Ramsey. The Raiders' cornerback room looks a lot better than what it does right now. The Atlanta Falcons are a team that should be in the mix for Jalen Ramsey that people aren't talking about enough. Raheem Morris and Terry Fontenot, they got to produce some results this year. And not only are they expected to win this division possibly, but they also are expected to be a playoff team. And anything less than one of those two things happening is going to result in both of those guys getting the boot. Getting Jalen Ramsey is the kind of move that you make when you are in the kind of situation the Falcons are in. They drafted well. They just got a few holes, and their second cornerback spot alongside of A.J. Terrell is one of them. You make this trade for Jalen Ramsey, and you immediately have one of the better cornerback tandems in the league because Mike Hughes, we've seen enough of him to know that he ain't it. He's like a good backup cornerback if one of your two starters goes down. But if you plan on having Mike Hughes starting alongside of A.J. Terrell for the entirety of this season, then whichever side he's going to be playing on is barbecue chicken for the opposing quarterbacks that's throwing to him. because he just isn't it. And then also, Raheem Morris is already familiar with Jalen Ramsey when he was the Rams defensive coordinator for those years when Jalen Ramsey was there. He liked him a lot. He got along with them pretty well. So you reunite Jalen Ramsey and Raheem Morris. The chemistry is already there. Jalen already has a good understanding of the defense that he wants to run. So you wouldn't have to spend too much time getting caught up to what the Falcons want to run. And then lastly, I got the Carolina Panthers. Like the Las Vegas Raiders, they desperately need some bodies in the secondary. They do have J.C. Horn, but other than him, it's just a bunch of family dollar workers. Getting Jalen Ramsey would somewhat solidify the Panthers' cornerback position. They still need some safety help, but if you got two really good corners and JC and Jalen Ramsey, then that'll help out those safeties. Overall, the Panthers, them getting Jalen probably wouldn't make as much sense as some of these other teams trying to get him, because the Panthers, yeah, ideally they want to compete this year, but they still are a year away from doing so. But if you get Jalen Ramsey, he does make you a lot better than what you currently are right now. And you're banking on a lot of rookies stepping up for you, getting after the quarterback. Getting Jalen could take a little bit of pressure off of those guys, because instead of you relying on your front four to get consistent pressure, you can get a bunch of coverage sacks with J.C. Horn. When he's healthy, he's a top 10 corner, and Jalen Ramsey still gives you productive enough cornerback play to where this could be a really scary duo. So these are the 6 teams that I feel will be the best landing spots for the Miami Dolphins to trade Jalen Ramsey to. Leave your possible trade destinations for Jalen Ramsey in the comment section below. And I'll see you guys shortly with another episode.